Hey y'all. It's your boy Mark back with another offering, y'all. And I'm excited about this one because it's something I've never done, but I don't know. I enjoy seeing other people do it, other readers, and yeah, so I got the call to do it today, so I made sure to answer it. But hey, y'all, if y'all are new here, welcome to the family. You're in for a treat. If you're not new here, you know how we get down. We like to have a good time, and yeah, we don't play no games. So I'm excited to get right in. But welcome to my first ever pick a card. Hey, I'm so excited. Um, I have these three cards here. It's gonna be card one, card two, card three, and as far as the topic or what we're going to be exploring, I wasn't sure, but after I put those cards down, I looked at the bottom of the deck, and yeah, it became very clear what we're doing today. So here it is, the Hangman on the bottom. So what we're going to be discussing is what you need to know about this space you find yourself in right now, whether it be a space of you waiting or something you're waiting on. Or it be a space where everything's just hitting right now and everything's very, very prosperous and you feel like you can't lose. Like whatever this space is that you're in or whatever came to mind when you heard me say that, that's what we're going to be exploring today. So that being said, let's figure out what these cards are so you guys can pick a pile. Hey, if you want to pick blindly, hey, go ahead right now. If you want to pause and take a second to pick, do that. But yeah, I'm about to flip them over. So anybody who wants to pick based on the card themselves or whatever they see or however can do so. So here we go. Boom. Okay. First pile. I'll decide if we're going reverse based on how, because if they all turn reverse, I'll just assume that I put them facing the wrong way. But yeah, first card, Six of Pentacles. Okay. Second card, Eight of Cups. Interesting. I almost said Wands, and we got the little fire at the top. And the last card, okay, Four of Cups. So I am going to turn them over because I'll just assume that, yeah, they were all just facing the opposite way. But yeah, Six of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Four of Cups. Oh no, Six of Cups, I'm sorry. Talking too fast, y'all. All right, don't sit here and think too hard. Just whatever called out to you, whatever felt like an intuitive hit or there was resonance or anything like that, go for it. And trust that that's your pile. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to put these over to the side. This is pile 2. Okay. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Before we get started, I'm going to pull one of these cards from the Shadow Work card deck. It's a deck that comes with two halves. One is identify, and the other half is integrate. So for these, I'm going to pull one identify before we get going. And then at the end, to close the energy, I'm going to pull the integration card. So what's on the card is going to be something to consider if you want to write it down or actually, answer whatever the question is or work with it. Hey, feel free to do so. It's whatever feels right to you. There's no right or wrong way to go through this reading or session. So that being said, oh, I didn't even shuffle. I just pulled the card on top. Please hold. Okay, boom. What negative habits do you struggle to break? Remember, what we're considering right now is what you need to know about this space that you're in. So what negative habits do you struggle to break? All right. And that being said, let's get right into it. So first things first, just as far as the Six of Pentacles, it feels like you're in a space right now where you're seeing what you truly need and what you want in the physical. So what you want support to feel like, who you want to be around you, what hobbies feel right to you. Just different things like that as far as just your physical experience. It could even be something as simple as what car you like, what car you want to drive, what home feels right to you, who spending time with feels right with, and just really all these energies as far as just your physical world. And it also feels like you're seeing people clearly for who they are. I'm just being drawn to this snake on the arm that's kind of hidden. It feels like you're in a space where snakes are very easy to see just as much as your support is very easy to see. So you might be in a space where you need more help than you've experienced before, like maybe you're having to rely on others to really help you get from point A to point B through your day, more so than you've ever had to before. Maybe you're somebody who is typically very, very self-sufficient. So now you're in a space where you need others, and that's very weird to you and strange to you. But in this space, you're seeing who you can rely on, because before you might not have had to rely on anybody. So you haven't really seen, okay, in a jam, I can call on this person, or, ooh, in a jam, I can't rely on this person. This person's flaky, So this space you're in right now feels like a space right before things get really, really amazing, and you get slingshotted into a lot of things you've been wanting and asking for. But it feels like you have a lot of people around you and a lot of dynamics that you're currently involved in. And right now, this is a space where it's important to shed because it can't all come with you. But in that process, it's a matter of not having to force and be like, okay, who can't come? But you're just really seeing, okay, this person, I can't trust this person. I can't rely on this person. Okay, this dynamic between me and this activity, this doesn't work for me right now. I need something else in this space. And as you do that, you're refining exactly who you are, where you're going, what can come with you, what can't come with you. And it feels like that's where we are right now. That's exactly what this card feels like. What negative habits do you struggle to break? And when it comes to this, it just feels like, it just feels like the same call as far as to people being around you, things being around you that don't belong there, but that have just been able to exist there. So they've been able to stay. But now in this space, it's kind of like that tension is getting high, that dissonance is getting high, and it's very loud right now. And the contrast between the things you need and things you don't need is very, very highlighted and very, very clear. So it just feels like that's another call as far as this card goes. I'm gonna pull some of my personal oracle cards to see, a little bit more, get some more nuance as far as the energy goes. Okay, first we got third eye flipping right out. We also got 333. Heavy emphasis on the 3 energy. And that just feels like, right now you're being able to see clearly, and don't rely so much on the physical senses as far as just where you are right now, because it might appear like you're regressing or you're in a worse place than you've been historically or just in recent history. And it's like, the call is just to understand that it's all okay, that you're divinely protected, and that everything's unfolding in your best interest right now. And all you need to do is pay attention and trust what feels right. Pay attention to what you're getting as far as your intuition, the sensations in your body when dealing with different things. If talking to somebody always makes you feel anxious, or just the thought of them makes you feel anxious, that's information. And that's psychic information, that's intuitive information, that's very valuable information that you need to be aware of and take note of and not just dismiss. So right now it's like, you rely more on your third eye than your physical eyes. And that's just not vision. That's just all your senses, not leaning so hard on your physical senses, but really trusting the information you're getting from energy, from spirit, and those things right now. And trust that you're divinely protected, and that even though this space feels a little shaky or feels like not necessarily what you're used to or what you even want, understand that you're divinely protected and there's divine presence all throughout your day-to-day, your moment-to-moment. So really lean on to that and trust it. And what also came out is fast. And this just feels like another call to allow things to fall away. And in the process of you not necessarily having the things you've typically had. Maybe you're somebody who's been very, very abundant, very, very rich, wealthy, and all that. But right now, your money's tied up, so you don't really have it. Understand that this is a fast in a sort, just because you're clearing it's easy to, when you're so used to things being a particular way, you lose a little bit of the nuance of it. You know, you miss the certain things. You know, so you start taking certain things for granted. You stop noticing certain things. And especially with money, it's like you might just, you know, you spend it frivolously because you always have it. So you're not even really thinking about half the stuff you're spending, or moving with any intention at all, because, hey, you don't have to, you know, it always comes back and it's whatever. So it's like right now it's in the space where it's like, okay, you're having to be more intentional with every dollar you spend. You're like having to consider more. And that doesn't mean like, oh, you're scared to spend it, but it's like, you know, it takes a little bit more intention because it's not as free flowing right now. And it's like, that's a fast. So embrace that and understand that this new perspective you're having on your day-to-day base, on your day-to-day, is pushing you towards more of yourself. It's refining you into exactly who you need to be and preparing you for exactly what you're stepping into. But understand that you're in a slingshot moment right now. It may feel like, you know, you're not moving. Yeah, it might feel like you're moving backwards, but understand that the more backwards you move and it feels like, understand that when it's time, you will be propelled forward. And just as far as it feels like you backslid is, you know, exponentially just as far as you're going to be flying forward. So next is let it go. And it's like, yo, relax, allow these things to be what they are, and trust that everything's okay. You are royalty. It's like right now you're in the middle of your coronation. And on the other side of this is everything. But yeah, you can allow this process to be beautiful because, yeah, you're hitting the jackpot right now. You've already hit the jackpots. Now it's just unfolding. And it's like, this is your pearl moment. Maybe you've been spending a lot of time, you know, opening a bunch of oysters or clams. I'm not sure where pearls come in, but it's like not everyone has a pearl in it. But after so many, hey, maybe you opened 100, maybe you opened 1,000. But it's like the next one you're opening, the one you're opening right now, is the one with the pearl in it. And it's a very, very big pearl, honestly. So allow this process to be beautiful. And all you have to do is exist. I am. And yeah, and trust that everything else is unfolding. And that's all your job is right now, is to be you. 100,000 million%. So hell yeah, that's really beautiful. And yeah, that feels very conclusive for your message. So I'm gonna pull the other half of the shadow work card. The first one was, what negative habits do you struggle to break? And now we're gonna pull an integration card. Two came out, so I'm gonna honor it. One was kind of falling in my hand, another one slid out the side. So, do you set boundaries for yourself? If not, where do you see the need to? Yeah, and that feels like exactly what we're talking about, as far as like seeing who deserves to be in your life right now, who doesn't, who takes advantage, who actually gives, and you know, and you're really seeing people for what they bring and what they are truly, without the lens of, you know, you not needing anything from them and you being the provider all the time, or yeah, so really consider that. And the other one is, look at your life experiences so far. What have been the defining moments or turning points? And that feels like something that's very important to consider regardless of the situation. So yeah, understand that everything's okay. And this just feels like, yo, look back into everything that's ever happened, that's ever been the most biggest things. And it's like a lot of it was stuff you didn't see coming. A lot of it came on the back of chaos. A lot of it unfolded from something that you never even understood until, you know, you were in the middle of it. So it's like, understand that right now will be no different. So, hey, look at your life experiences so far and really think about those turning points and what they felt like and what it was like right before they happened. And you'll understand that where you are right now is just another one of those. So, hell yeah, that's your reading, card number one, pile one. And yeah, I'm really excited. And shout out to y'all. Y'all are officially my first pick a card group ever of all time. So you're a part of history and you're a big deal. And I hope you understand that. And your message is very clear on that. So understand that this space that you're in right now is exactly where you're supposed to be, and that things are unfolding exactly as they should be. So hell yeah, enjoy the ride, enjoy the trip, and understand that all roads lead to exactly where you're going. So just allow them to. But yeah, I'll see y'all later, Power One. And clear these out. Let's get right into pile number 2. 8 of Cups. And let's get started with our Identify card. Oh, boom. How does your shadow self influence your communication style? Oh, okay. And immediately, just those 2 cards together, it feels like the space you're in right now is a space where you're done talking. Like, you're done explaining yourself. You're done trying to get people to see what you're saying. You're done trying to get people to understand that you know what you're talking about, or that you have something to offer. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my thing, and whoever is meant to understand me will understand me, and it will become clear because I'm not explaining anything. So the people who are aligned will just resonate because, you know, they're supposed to be getting it, not because I held their hand through it, or I'm dragging them along, or that I'm explaining everything to the point where they can understand it, but just because we speak the same language, because we're on the same mission, because we're soul tribe, and all these things that are pure just alignment and embodiment rather than force and things like that. So that's coming through very loud and clear. And remember, this is about the space you're in right now. And so that's something to remember. Just even as, it's not even something to remember because this feels like a very active process. Like, you've made that decision and you know you're moving in it now. So just remember that as things show up, as echoes of the past present themselves, as just different obstacles and things play out, understand that that's a big shift that you're making. So your reality might be fighting back, you know. The people who you're not explaining yourself to might not like that and might be upset, or making it seem like, oh, you're being cold, or you're not communicating, or all these things, when it's really like you don't have to explain yourself. And at the point where you're tired of it, that's exactly when you need to honor and move on and stop doing it. So, and these cups being empty feels significant as well. It's kind of like it's done. Like, you've already experienced these things. There's nothing else to be gained from it. So it's like you walking away is very, very important. And I was still going, and I started to shuffle, and this fell right out. Hair. And that feels interesting because, you know, his hair is on fire. And that was the first thing I noticed when that card presented itself. And the way it came out before I was ready for it to come out feels like, you know, this is a fast moving energy. This feels like it's fire, you know. People who aren't meant to be around right now will get burned in this energy. So trust that you don't have to do anything. Continue to move as you are. Don't explain anything as you have decided you're not doing anymore. And trust that anything that's not for you will be burned away because they won't be able to exist because you're not catering to them anymore, you know. You're not babying them. You're not bridging the gap with using your energy to keep y'all in alignment, to keep y'all resonating. Because, you know, the more you explain yourself and having to explain and defend all that takes energy. And it's like you could just be using that energy towards your mission to do the things that you are called to do, that are waiting on you to do, rather than explaining yourself. And it's like it's not a useful use of your energy. So get them out of your hair, allow these things to burn away, and trust that they are burning away as you just continue to do your thing. And the things that are meant for you will become very clear in that process, because the resonance will be clear, super clear. And you moving the way you move will only attract in things that are meant for you and that are best for you, because that's how you're moving in a way that's best for you. So trust the things that are aligned for you and that present themselves in this space that you're in are for you, especially if they feel resonant. And if you feel like, wow, I'm not even doing anything but being me and doing what I feel called to do, and these things are thriving, it's like, yes, that's an indicator that those are what's best for you. And we also got zoom out. And that feels like don't allow being too close to things to cloud your judgment, especially people. You know, I feel like people that we're closest to get so much grace and so much tolerance, and a lot of times those are the people who deserve it the least, plain and simple. And it's like, if they weren't as close to you, if they weren't blood, if they weren't somebody who was super significant to you, or somebody you decided is super significant to you, they wouldn't have as much of a leash. You wouldn't allow them to get away with as much. And it feels like you doing that and allowing people to get away with more than they should be is draining your energy as well. And it's like, zoom out and be like, if I met this person today, how much energy would I give them, you know? And that'll keep you honest, because like a lot of times it's easy to give people so much because of times, because of history and things like that. And it's like, yo, recommit to everything every day. Ask yourself like, yo, if this started today, would this be enough for me? Would I be okay with this? And if the answer is no, you need to think about that. You need to sit with that a little bit, because nothing should be in your experience simply because it's been there a long time. Like time is fickle. Time is a construct. Time is all these things that are not indicators of anything other than nothing, honestly. Like I'm trying to make it something, but yeah, it's nothing, because you can meet somebody two minutes from now, and you guys reach levels of closeness and intimacy and resonance that you've never reached with anybody, with people you've known for 20, 30 years. And it's like, that's real, and you don't discount that because of time, like, because a lot of this stuff is soul, it's energy and all that. So it's like, that's more real than anything else. So trust that and zoom out and really, really gauge these things from a perspective of infinite, if that's a word, infinite, but being infinite. I understand that time is, the time you've been here right now is only a speck of dust compared to, the experience of you at a soul level and all that. So it's like, just because you've known somebody for 10 years, like, yo, your soul is so experienced and wise. It's like that 10 years is nothing. So it's like, that can't be the meter for who gets to be around and who gets energy from you, especially when your energy is your currency and is how you're building your life. So please continue to zoom out and continue to walk away from the things that aren't in alignment, and don't feel the need to explain yourself or have to validate it in order to move, because trust that, yo, you got the call. All you have to do is answer it, and that's plain and simple. And then Black Mirror, and that just feels like, I just heard you don't have to answer the phone, and then I heard D&D, and it's like the Black Mirror is technology. The way the reflection comes off of the screens when they're dark, and it's like kind of like a black mirror. And that's what it feels like. It's like, yo, allow your screen to be dark. Don't feel like you have to be all on the phone talking to everybody just because they want to talk to you, or just because they act like you don't call them, or because you don't call, you don't care. When it's like, if you know you care and you know that's not true, you don't have to prove that to anybody. If they're unable to see it, then hey, that's their burden to carry. You don't have to expend a bunch of energy for someone to receive you properly. So yo, allow that mirror to be black and put it away. D&D is a great friend. And the energy feels kind of closed, but these last two came out, so I'm gonna honor it. It's like shot o'clock, and it's interesting that I felt called to put it here. I didn't even think about it, but right next to the glasses. And it's like, yo, where you're headed, there's more cups that are gonna be full, and it's like not only just cups, but cups, turn up cups. Like we're about to have a good time. The cups you're leaving might have been like water, and little things like that. A little tea or whatever, which is cool, which is good for you. But it's like, where you're headed, it's turn up time. You're about to get the cups you're about to meet are gonna feel like a shot. Like a shot of energy, charge. They're gonna feel like they're pouring into you. They're gonna feel like a good time, honestly, and like not just a good time, like a turn up, but like a soul level good time. Like, wow, this feels like a party. This feels like a celebration. Our connection feels literally like an extravaganza, and it's like that's where you're headed right now. And it's like, yo, be light as air right now. Don't allow things to keep you so bogged down. Allow things to feel like air and feel light. The lighter the energy feels, the closer you are to where you need to be, honestly. If the energies feel very dense and heavy, and you end up, at the end of these interactions with these things, people or whatever, and you're like, wow, I need to go recover. I need to go rest. I need to go, go back to my cave. And it's like, you shouldn't have to escape the things you're giving energy to. It should all amplify you. Why would you give yourself to a connection that you have to recover from, that you have to recharge from, and like disappear from the world in order to get back to your baseline? It's like, yo, right now, the space you're in is like leaving all that behind. That's why you're not explaining yourself anymore, because your energy is too valuable. So you need to put yourself in places where it's like, okay, I go over here, wow, I feel amplified, I'm ready to go do some more stuff. It's like, that's a good indicator of you being in a space that you belong in, is how you feel when you leave the space. If you feel charged and ready for more, or you feel ready to go do X, Y, Z, or inspired and all that, yes, that's where you're supposed to be. But if you need to go take a nap, or you need to go turn your phone off and disappear, and you got a headache and all these things, then yo, that's not something that's light as air. That's something that's very heavy. And where we're going, there's no room for density. So it's like, Allow things to be light and follow the energy. And if they feel heavy, understand that they're too heavy for you. So let them go. And yeah, so that feels very conclusive. That was very, very clear and very, very forward. So I'm going to pull your integration card. Oh, boom. Remember, your shadow work card was, how does your shadow self influence your communication style? And your integration card is, what do you need to forgive yourself for? It's like, and what I'm hearing right now is just, if you feel bad about leaving these people behind, turning your back on them, or, just really pulling your energy back from these spaces, you need to forgive yourself for that. And understand that at the end, time will tell all. And it doesn't have to even be a forever thing, but you need your energy for where you're going. And I promise you, you will regret the fact that you gave all your energy to these people more than the fact that you didn't give them your energy, especially when things unfold exactly as they're unfolding, as everything's on its way and waiting for you. You won't regret the fact that you pulled your energy back at all. But if you don't pull your energy back and you continue to give all of you to the point you burn out and you're not even able to actualize everything that's waiting for you and that's here for you, understand that that will be a regret for sure. So it's like, yo, forgive yourself now for whatever guilt you feel in pulling your energy back and doing what's best for you. Because understand that in a little bit, it will all be clear and no one will sit there and question anything that you did, because at the end of the day, your results will speak for themselves. And when they ask how you did, it'll be on the back of, yo, I took my energy back, I prioritized myself and did what I needed to do. And there won't be any defending you need to do or any explaining. So please forgive yourself and allow yourself to pour into yourself and do what you need to do. At the end of the day, you were born here as you came out by yourself, unless you're a twin or something like that. But even then, you spent every day of your life with yourself. There's nobody else who can say that they've been there for every single moment of your life. And even if they have, somehow they don't live in your head. They haven't experienced every thought. They don't live in your body. They haven't experienced every emotion you have. So it's like, yo, at the end of the day, the person you owe the most to is yourself. No one is bigger than the program, not even yourself, not even the part of yourself that feels bad about, people, not even the part of yourself that likes to people please. It's not bigger than the program. So you cannot allow it to be. And you have to be relentless in that and forgive yourself over and over again as you feel bad about it. But understand that time will tell all, and there won't be anything to feel bad about in the end. I promise you that. So, hell yeah. Pile 2. Hey, that was great. That was really awesome. Oh, my bad. But yeah, that was your reading. And yeah, I'm going to clear these off. I'll take a look at your significator card again. Boom. 8 of Cups, y'all. Keep walking, man. Keep headed to everywhere you're going. You're divinely protected in this space right here. You're being led by your intuition. You're being led by your guides. And look, this is a hand coming out of the water. It's like, trust that everything's okay. You have support all around you. And in the places that look mundane, the places that you might not even notice, because it's not for you to notice. The best defense that you have is the one you don't even know about. Your support and your defense, your divine protection is so good that you don't even see half the stuff. I'm getting a visual of like car accidents and things happening right behind you that you don't even notice, or like a near miss, something falling out of the sky and landing right behind you, you don't even notice. And it's like those type of things. It's like, yo, it's not, if you knew everything that you were being protected of, you wouldn't second guess anything, because you'd realize, oh my God, I'm untouchable. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. So yo, do what you feel called to do and allow everything else to unfold as it needs to. And please don't be hard on yourself as you continue to choose yourself. I understand that that's what you're here to do. And the things that are for you and the things that are supposed to be chosen by you will only be drawn closer as you continue to choose yourself. Because as you doing what's best for you only leads to what's best for you. And you doing what's best for you will never make something crumble that's what's best for you. Because those things will be in resonance. So please, the best thing you can do is choose yourself always and relentlessly. So that's your reading. And if you're leaving, hey, thank you for being here. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. And yeah, I'll see you around. There's definitely more where this came from. All right. That being said, that leads us to our final pile. Or I guess our final card. I keep calling it a pile because I be watching pickup. I be watching them, you know. But yeah, that brings us to card 3. 6 of Cups. So let's go ahead and get our identify card. Let's see what we're dealing with. What you need to consider. What do you often lie about? Ooh, okay, that's pretty straightforward. Y'all be lying, card 3? Interesting. I used to lie, so don't feel like I'm judging. I'm definitely not. I definitely had to let it go. And not even just because of others, but because of how it made me feel. And yeah, it's not authentic, you know? And it's also sending the message that you're not able to exist authentically, you know? So it's like the best thing you can do is to always, tell the truth and tell your truth and allow everything else to fall where it is, because you can't afford to sell yourself out, you know? And it feels like, like you're getting away with something, but it's like, it's way deeper than that. But, I didn't even mean to start shuffling these, but this feels like a nice hug from the universe. Like, I love you. It's like, you don't have to be you 1,000%. And it feels like that's the space that you're in right now. It's like, drop the masks. And this is an opportunity to drop the masks. And I'm being drawn to how she's sitting here and watching these things play out, watching this exchange play out. And it's like, and this feels like in a love exchange as well, you know. You got the feminine appearing hand and the masculine appearing hand. It's like giving this extravagant gift of the cacti. And they got flowers at the top, and it just feels like, and I love you, like an offering of love. And this feels like you watching that happen, but this is the divine, like blessing you in a sense, the coming together of the masculine and feminine within you. And yeah, it just feels like show up authentically and trust that you are exactly who you need to be. There's no reason to pretend. There's no reason to wear a mask or any of that, because all that does is keep the things that are truly for you away and keep you in resonance to things that aren't for you. And yeah, the best way to refine your life and to really shed things that aren't for you while attracting in things that are for you is to show up as you 1,000%. And yeah, as much as you can, and to inject as much as you into everything you do, into every dynamic. And trust that the things that aren't for you will not be able to survive that onslaught of authenticity. Like the things that aren't for you will become very, very clear as you show up as 100% you, you know? And yeah, and as you create space, as those things fall away, at the same time, people who are really for you will be able to see you and recognize, like, oh my God, this is my person, you know? The resonance will be clear as they can see more of you, as you reveal more of yourself, your energy, your light, and all that. So understand that that's a call right now. It's like this space you're in right now is giving you opportunities. And on the bottom is 1111. And that just feels like wish fulfillment, but also in a sense like, this is a wish fulfillment that's coming in because of your authenticity. Because through the opportunities that are for you are able to see you and come into your life, and you're able to select them and move forward with them. And also on the bottom, wow, mind your vibration. And right under that is raise your frequency. And if you've been around my channel or checked into my Monday Magic readings, these two love to come out together. I really don't know how that happens, but it's always boom, mind your vibration, raise your frequency together every single time. Like if you go, hey, if you want to review and call me on my bluff, go ahead. And if you've been here for a while, hey, let them know in the comments that I ain't lying. Oh, we talking about lying. See, that might be significant too. Oh, wow. And now look at the bottom, LOL. Yeah, these are my personal oracle cards, and they definitely have my sense of humor. So they be right here with me, and it's always funny to see how that plays out. And yeah, that feels aligned to what we're talking about too, because it's like, this is me injecting as much as myself into what I'm doing as possible, you know? It's like I could have just used a bunch of cards or felt like, oh, let me go buy new decks or let me go buy some oracle, but I got the call to make these, and that's been a very fruitful thing, because it's like my oracle cards speak to me in a nuanced way that only I understand and only they understand, because they're born of me. So, show up as you in every space you are, and understand that you are a part of the 5%. You're not here to be like everybody else. You're not here to impress everybody else or live a way that everybody else can validate. And understand that if you're in a way where everybody is validating you, you're probably not showing up authentically, because who you are is polarizing, and not because you're a bad person, not because you do what you want, you step on toes, but because you're here to do a big thing, and you're here to do things that the whole world isn't necessarily even ready for until it's already done and we're already living in it, and then now everybody's like, oh wow, this is where we were headed, oh, this is what you were talking about. And it's like, that's the reality of you. You're ahead of the curve, you're a leader, you're trailblazing, and you're leading us to places that we've never been. So the fact is that everybody can't understand that. And so yeah, you're not here to be digestible. So you really need to show up as you 1,000%. Please, like, that's a very loud call. And it's like, mind your vibration, raise your frequency, learn, connect to yourself deeper, learn who you are more. So you can continue to show up as who you know yourself to be. So you can continue to recognize the opportunities that are for you, that bring you to where you're supposed to be. And the only way to do that is to mind your vibration, which will allow you to stay in resonance to the very things that you want, because in order to attract riches, abundance, love, you have to be those things. You have to be in those vibrations and that energy now. You don't wait till they come, or they don't come from outside of you first. A lot, all of this experience is projected from the inside out. So you become by being. So you need to mind your vibration. If you're trying to call in riches, you need to be mindful. Okay, how much of today did I spend feeling rich? How much of today did I feel feeling supported, that I needed for nothing, and feeling content? And on the other hand, damn, how much time did I spend, feeling lack, feeling poor? How many decisions did I make today that are in alignment to being poor more than being rich? How many rich decisions did you make? How many times that opportunity to make a rich decision did you go and fall into your old programming and choose lack? And it's like, you need to be mindful of that. Mind your vibration and mind how you're vibrating at any given time, And that doesn't mean don't be sad, don't be angry, but it's like, be those things with the intent to move the energy and then to get back to baseline and then get to the higher vibrations again to continue to attract these things in. And that doesn't mean just chase it, because we're here to experience it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's like, honor these things, but don't wallow in them. Don't just be sad to stay sad and stay sad, stay sad. And somebody's trying to make you feel better and you're like, no. And then you just want to stay sad. And it's like, why? For what? You're not attracting anything but more things to be sad about in that vibration. So, and in that process, the other side of that is raise your frequency. Learn more about who you are and your connection to it all. And there's so many protections in just knowing yourself and knowing universal law and knowing all these things, and understand that that builds up your frequency and that protects you even when your vibration's low, Because when you know that you're protected, when you know you're divinely protected, when you know that you're an embodiment of God and all these things, understand that you're protected even when you're sad, even when you're angry, because that doesn't fall away. You don't feel disconnected to it all, or like, oh, now all of a sudden now I'm, now oneness isn't real, or now I'm whatever, X, Y, Z. It's like, who you are. Even if you're sad, you know that, yeah, I'm sad right now, but I'll feel better later, and it's all for a reason, and in time, everything will make sense, and I'm just going to feel this out and move on. It's like, that's your frequency, and your frequency is your baseline, just based on what you know and how you know yourself to be connected to it all. So continue to pursue things that teach you who you are, that reveal to you your connection to it all, that show you your magic, and understand that that's raising your frequency. Understand that you're loved, so loved by the universe, by God, by everything you believe in, and the very things that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. Because at the end of the day, it's all source, and oneness is the truth. And the very things that you are giving you a hard time are made of the same things that you are. If you strip it down to a smallest level and zoom all the way into you can't zoom anymore, you're the same. So it's like, you're not afraid of yourself, or you shouldn't be. So you shouldn't be afraid of anything that's servicing in your experience right now. And yeah, this energy feels very, very charged. So yeah, if you feel very, very charged, or you're in a space where you're moving a mile a minute, understand that don't allow the energy to distract you, or don't feel like you allow it to make you feel anxious, And look, as I say that, go comes out, and it's like, yeah, don't allow this to come through as anxiety, when it's like, it's really just high vibrational energy. It's just charged energy that you can use to do anything, to build your life. But don't allow it to push you in directions of feeling like, oh my God, I need to do more, to the point where you become a slave to your own energy that's here to help you create your life, So take it and allow it to be potent fuel, but don't allow it to push you this way or that way, or make you feel like you have to do something because you feel this way. It's like, yo, It's all for you. So choose what feels right and continue on. And as I say that, Pearl comes out, 777, and Fast. And these were all present in the first pile, the first card. So if you feel called to that card, definitely go check it out. There might be more messages for you there. But yeah, it just feels like you're in the prime position right now with the 777. Yeah, I'm hearing lottery winner. I'm hearing jackpot. I'm hearing the slot machines going off, at the casino. And not just them going off, but everybody noticing, And it feels like you've been there for a while, and you lost a lot of times. And this feels just like with the Pearl energy. It's the same kind of energy of, well, it feels like you've been, I'll start here. Like this energy is charged and it's going very, very fast. But 777 feels like you've been at the slot machines for a really long time. You've been losing, and nobody was around. Nobody even spoke to you or even asked, are you feeling okay? Do you want me to buy you a drink? Or, telling you it's going to be okay. Nothing. They just kind of watched you lose and not even watch, ignored you. And it's like now it's like, boom, you keep winning. It's like all of a sudden you pulled it once and you won. And you're like, oh, okay, finally, thank God. And you pull it again, you're like, oh, wow, I won again. And you pull it again, you're like, whoa, and now you're looking around like, damn, is something wrong? You're hoping that nobody comes, to ask you what's wrong or make you or accuse you of cheating or anything. So now you're like, so now you're hesitant, but then you pull it again and boom, you win again. You're like, whoa, what is going on? And now everybody's paying attention and coming over and they're like, oh man, can I buy you a drink? Oh man, what's going on? And now all of a sudden everybody wants to be there. And it's like, yo, I was over here losing. Nobody even saw me. I didn't even know y'all even noticed I was over here. And it's like, that's where you are right now. And it's like, just sit back and watch how good it gets. Like, it's going to keep going. And it's like, the more you sit there and expect it not to come up a win, you're disconnected from it. And it's like, it could be bigger. Just embrace it and allow that energy to amplify, pull it knowing that you're going to win and see what that feels like. See how the winnings get bigger when you know and when you just embody the fact that you are a winner. You are a jackpot winner. And it's like, you are a pearl. And this feels like that same energy just of, every oyster or clam or whatever pearls come in doesn't have a pearl in it. It may take 1,000 openings to finally get that one pearl. And it's like, this is your pearl moment and you are a pearl. And that's what you're being asked to understand right now in this space. It's like, yo, mind your vibration. And if you're not feeling like a pearl, if you're not feeling like a jackpot winner, then do the things that allow you to realize that that's what you are. Not even just the things that make you feel like that, but the things that really reveal to you like, wow, I am a jackpot winner. I am a pearl, holy cow. And it's like, yes, that's what you're being asked to do right now. And that's what you're being shown as these things are happening for you. It's like these exchanges are happening on your behalf. And you just have to sit there and collect. You see, she has a bunch of cactuses around her. They're exchanging it. And then boom, at some point it's going to pop up right here. And it's like, this feels like things happening at higher dimensions, Like here's the exchange, the balance of masculine and feminine, give and take, things happening. And then boom, and then at some point it's just going to surface right here. And it's like, that's what's going on. It's like, you just have to sit there and wait. And no, not even wait, but do your thing, do what feels right. Hey, bask in it a little bit if you feel called to, and understand that there's more where that came from. It's going to keep going, like boom, winner, another one. They're going to do a fancier cactus. Here you go, boom. And then you just have to wait for it to materialize and boom. Not even wait. I don't want to keep saying, I don't want to say wait because it's not a waiting thing. And I don't want you to be because waiting just leads to more waiting. Do your thing, embody, and continue to move and do what you feel called to do. There's a difference between stillness and waiting. Waiting implies that you don't have, like you're waiting for it to come in. You wouldn't be waiting for something that's there, If there's food in front of you, you wouldn't be waiting on food because it's there. You would start eating or you'd be still, you're not ready to eat yet, but you're not waiting on the food, So I don't want to say wait. It's not a wait. This is like a stillness. She's like, yeah, I'll just chill here and, bask in the energy of these things happening for me. And it's like, that's where you are right now. And it's like, yo, allow yourself to get light right now. Fast and slow down for the most part. And it's like, create room, mind what you're consuming, not just food wise, not just beverages, but mental diet. If you watch so much news, hey, slow down on the news. That's probably why you don't feel like a winner, because if you watch the news a lot, this world's a dangerous place. There's so much going on. There's, it's a bunch of things to be afraid of. So it's like, yo, fast from that a little bit. Spend, if you watch news every day, spend one day a week not watching the news. See what that feels like. And when you realize, well, wow, that was probably the best day I've had this week, then you'll be able to cut down more. But it's like when you've been doing a lot of things for so long, you're blind to the effects of them. So it's like you don't get to see it until you stop and cut your experience down to very, very minimal, and then start adding things back, and then you can see how your body's reacting. And I feel like I'm someone who fasted like for 4 days, like a few months ago. And I feel like that was very eye-opening to me, because it's like at the end of that 4 days, it felt like, I stripped all these things away, and then you have to slowly add them back. So you have that first meal, which is probably, something light, not too much seasoning, all that. And then you're like, oh, okay, I feel good. And then, you get more adventurous from there. But from there, you start to see, oh, okay, wow. I ate this today, and this made my stomach hurt. This made me really gassy, or whatever. And it's like, that's information that you wouldn't have noticed before, because you've just been in it for so long, to where it's like you're all tangled up in all these energies. You don't even know what's from what. You thought that pain in your knee was just something that you've always had. And it's like, oh, wow, I fasted for 4 days and the inflammation in my knee is gone. And it's like you get to see these things, and you get to see yourself, where you start and stop versus where these things that you're engaging with start and stop. So yeah, allow yourself to fast from energies, from people, from food, from all types of things. Whatever you can kind of minimize, do it, and understand that you'll be able to see just the impact that these things are having. So, whew, that was a doozy of a message. And I'm excited to even be able to present that to you. And yeah, you are a very big deal, and your energy is very, very charged and potent. This pile feels very different than the other ones. And yeah, I hope you understand that. So please treat yourself as a big deal, and don't allow anything to make you feel like you're at the mercy of it, that you have to be moving this way or that way to make something happen, because understand that you are the happening. Like, your existence is the big deal. So do what feels like you, and understand that it will only lead to jackpot winnings, because you're a jackpot winner. And it's not because you have to hope for things to happen. It's just because that's just who you are, period. And that's clear as day. It's like, that's just who you. So the more you can embrace it and just understand that, and I'm hearing law of assumption. It's like, the more you assume, like, I'm a jackpot winner, understand that the universe will reflect that to you all around you, and will continue to do so. But it's on you to understand that and move with that knowing, to really get the maximum experience of that. So that brings us back to the first card. What do you often lie about? And now that feels like you play small. It's like you lie about the real. It feels like not consciously lie, but just energetically in the way you show up. It feels like you lie about who you are, Like, you sit there and you get surprised when good things happen, or when when you win. It's like, oh wow, I won. It's like, dude, you're a winner. Like, that. So it's like, stop lying to yourself and connect to that truth, because it is the truth of you. And understand that it leads to everywhere you're going. It's like, you want big wins, but you don't see yourself as a winner for some reason, when that's very clearly who you are. To me right now, I'm just feeling you. And yeah, the cards continue to tell that same story. It's like, yo, mind your vibration, raise your frequency so you can see yourself clearly. You are a pearl. You are a jackpot winner. Go. Like, you are a part of the 5%. Wish fulfillment. Like, I love you. Like, the universe is like, yo, you're a big deal. Like, you're not small at all. So stop acting like you are. So, boom. This is you. What do you often lie about? If you feel the need to kind of continue to explore that, go ahead. Don't allow my answers to be your answers if they're not accurate. And that brings us to our integration card. Can you visualize your shadow self? What does it look like? And I looked at the bottom, and this feels like it's connected as well. Are there any recurring symbols or omens in your life? The video cut out, and I don't necessarily know where it cut out. So I'll just go back from here. But I was saying that, and if you don't have an answer to this, or you feel silent, you kind of don't know where to go, it makes sense, because you said, what do you often lie about? And it feels like, if you're somebody who doesn't see yourself as a winner, if you don't identify with yourself as, a jackpot winner, a pearl, and all that might be your shadow self. And you might be so close to it, and so living in it so intently, and so day to day, that's just your existence, that you don't even recognize to be a shadow, that you really see it as yourself. But it's like, that's not the truth of you, especially if you resonate with the idea of the fact that you don't see yourself as a winner, but because you're very clear are to me. So if you stayed here this whole time and you're still like, I don't even know, like, then that's your shadow. So please understand that you're just so tied with them and so living in it often that you don't recognize it as such. So that's why fasting is going to be very important. So you can recognize it and you be like, oh wow, like I just realized I haven't had any of those thoughts. Oh wow, I stopped watching the news and I stopped being afraid of my reality. I started to feel like I was more in control. Okay. And it's like, that's what you're being asked to do, to really cut a lot of these things out and get back to basics. Like really do basic things, get away from your phone as much as you can. Spend less time with people, eat less foods, fast, try intermittent fasting for a bit, I intermittent fast on a day-to-day basis. I go like 16 hours from my last meal the day before to my first meal the next day. And that really does a good job of just getting I've never heard this word out loud, so pardon me if I butcher it, but the autophagy, which is when your body and the cells are able to go in and start cleaning itself up. And that's something that we don't typically get to based on, how we typically eat throughout the day, which has our body digesting all day long. So where your body's always processing, that's not able to get to any of these other things. So yeah, fast, and just not food. Like I said, the people you're talking to, the things you're consuming, the things you're watching, like cut it really down to as much as you can and really immerse yourself in your own energy. And yeah, and as you do that, you'll start to see where you start and stop versus where these things start and stop. And you'll realize that a lot of it may not have been you per se, but just results that you're so used to because you've been engaging in these things the same way for so long. So yeah, that being said, go ahead and really consider these things. Are there any recurring symbols or omens in your life? And that's very eye-opening because that tells you a lot of who you are and where you've been and how you're continuing to show up. And there's information in these things, especially things that are recurring and coming back, an angel number you see all the time, or you always see this thing, and when you do this thing, or when you have this thought, it always is followed by this thing, Pay attention to that stuff because it's all information. But yeah, that being said, this is the last one. It's been kind of sitting here looking at me. It's like, yo, try again. It's like, now that you understand all these things, get back to the drawing board, especially as you fast and all that. Start back from basics, get to know yourself again. Get to know, yeah. It's like, I'm going to go after these. Oh, wow. And as I say that, look, 5, and then I choose me, and then see you later. As I was about to say, yeah, I'm going to get out of here after these. It's like, yeah, see you later. That's it anyway. It's like, yo, there's big changes afoot, and not changes in who you are, but just changes in who you know yourself to be right now. And that's the space that you're in right now. It's really revealing to you who you are. It's allowing yourself to really restructure your sense of self, your self-image, and all that. So yeah, choose yourself, continue to choose what feels like you. And once you get all the way cleared back to your baseline to square one, try again. Start adding things back. Start engaging with new people. Start engaging with hobbies. And you'll really see what's for you, what resonates with you, and what really isn't as you kind of get back to your baseline. And your baseline is a winner. Your baseline is a pearl. And that's very, very clear. So, hell yeah. This was a really, really great message. And yeah, it feels like a great message to end on because I couldn't imagine this being like a first message and then trying to follow it or anything like that. So yeah, you're a big deal, yo. And you might be watching other people win big and watching other things unfold for others, wondering when it's going to be your turn. But understand that you have the biggest unfoldment of them all, And the unfoldment like you're experiencing right now takes time. The world has to be ready just like you have to be ready. And you're on that path. You're on that path. I'm seeing like Life Path 5. And Life Path 5 is all about the journey. It's all about actualizing everything that's there for you and being creative and really creating your path and forging your path. Leo might be significant as well. As a sign, it might be your sign. It might be in your chart somewhere. Or it just might be an energy that you find yourself in, energy of a superstar, energy of a showman, energy of someone who's like very, very captivating and magnetic. It's like, that's the reality of you. So continue to choose the things that feel like you and understand that who you are will continue to unfold to you and be revealed to you. But You are a winner. You are a jackpot winner. You are a pearl. And it's like, yo, sit back and allow the truth of you to be presented to you, because it's always trying to be presented to you. And it's been trying to reach you. And it's been trying to get you to see yourself clearly. So trust it, and see you later, dog. You're out of here after that. So do your thing and trust that it's all going to be okay. I'm going to show you your cards in case you want to work with these, do a little shadow work. Definitely don't want to limit you in your growth. But yeah, what do you often lie about is the first one. And when you're done, are there any recurring symbols or omens in your life? As well as, can you visualize your shadow self? What does it look like? But yeah, that's all I have for you. Show you your card one more time. This is you, man. Allow these things to work out. There's so much being exchanged and so much unfolding for you and on your behalf. All you have to do is be who you so clearly are to me and to everybody who comes across you, who can see you clearly, you know. So the people who see you and treat you as a pearl, that's a good indicator that they are who should be around you. If they treat you as less than, if they're trying to convince you you're less than, that's an indicator that they shouldn't be around you. And if you, at this point, you go back to your life and you realize that a lot of people treat you as less than, understand that that's why you don't identify yourself as a winner. That's why you can't see yourself clearly as a jackpot winner, because you're so immersed in the energies of people who can't see you that way. So then you're not able to see yourself that way because you're not being reflected as such. You're not being reflected properly. And that's why fasting is important. But this energy can keep me going in circles. So that's it for me. That's been the end. And yeah, hell yeah, card 3. I'm very excited to have you here. I'm very excited to have been able to reflect this energy to you and express all these things to you, because yeah, you're a big deal. And the space you're in right now is telling you that. And yeah, this message is just a part of that. So I assume and I know that there will be more messages that continue to show that to you, that you've already been getting that proof in those messages. And yeah, all you have to do is allow it to continue to unfold, because it will. But that's all I have for y'all. And I love y'all so much. This was really dope. And yeah, if you like this, definitely subscribe, like, share, do all the things. And I look forward to seeing you around, because things are only getting bigger and better from here. And yeah, from one jackpot winner to another, I love you. And we're going to keep doing our thing, because we are the 5%. And hey, somebody has to lead the way. So I love you so much, and I'll see y'all around. Mark, out of here, dog. Peace.